Malolo maria ho eiki mo lelei e tonga hono kotoa. Fia ke utarita lelei ki mo tolu ki mo uni o ngongo mo lei te o ka uma Afrika television e tonga ki he houani. Wakai koe ke ngahi ulu i o ngongo. Me atahine Princess Kalauni o whailonga e kamata wha ofisiali ai whakataha kautaki Polynesia i he tākanga i Pasifiki i Nuku'alofa. Tau ka vei e he kautake Pasifiki ke te lahiange ai tokoni ke Pasifiki ki nu whapaanga o ngahi ngā aue ke whawhipaki e whiliwaki o ea. Pea tata ki tongani ai whatahalai whatau ai kau minista tak mamata o Pasifiki au amanaki ke whahoko ia ke waiwhanua wawao. E toi iai pe me ngahi talanoa ke anaiange whataha me wakai ke whamimita ha me he mala ai o sipoti ka umu afo ke whamatala ea ka koe wakai lewa en ke whaikiki ko au senoli tātu i vai. Nā e mea i tahine Princess Kalauni sinai takala o whailonga i e kamata whaofisiale ai whakataha e kautaki Polynesia i he tākanga i Pasifiki i e pongpongi o i ahoni. Ko e polo kalamani na e whailonga i e pe me kamata i fofua website e kautaki Polynesia i tongani ke ngawe aki. I e whamatala o li tātou pō ka koe tale ki taia o i waa whawhito e office pale miana ne pihi. Ko taha ne makamaile mahu inga a tongani, na e whakatūtu mo palani kai pule anga ke whailonga i ake ngai halawhanonga mahu inga ai ka kai Polynesia. Ko website ko ni o ke e whenga maali ai, ke wahe e ka kai Polynesia ke ngai tuk whakahole ngai whanua taktaha o te taupe i he kakai me a toko ni, ulunganga mo i ngahi me a kehepe. Ko hili ene kakate tau e taha whae whengawe ake ngai whanua Polynesia, ha whaunga ke whai hatu o whakataha. Ngau tonga nina e wiki haskali tali pole pole anga o niwe pele ni talangi, ai tuku pā mo ngā aue ko whakahoko e tongani, ke no kata ke whakataha whakata o e ua, ai tākanga e Pasifiki. Nei te pehe talangi, ko whakataha ko ini o kia whenga maali e ke whaiha wahe ai, ke langa ngā aue ai ngahi whanua Polynesia, i he waiwai aki ki haka hau o kutu uloa. Nāne tui whamanato ai ke whima upe ai ngā aue whakataha i he wā o ngahi whanua o Polynesia. Kai ke he koe ngai whanua e ono i Pasifiki o kau ki matakari Polynesia, hau kau ki anu Usila, Haamoa, Tuvalu, Tokelau o te motukuki pia motongani. Ko whakaha me potungai mo ui a hono whotuu o e wāwhingawe aki me University Stanford i Amerika, wa atoka ngai kina o i kofua, ai a koe ngā unu whahistoria en ke whanua koe whainga, ke whalakalaka ki mua ai ngā ui ke no whotuu e 44 Senta Taiala Sisi i tongani. O tata ki ngā wene Senta Taiala Sisi e Siausi Brown, o ku ai a kutuu e ni i Salt Lake City i Utah.
I he ongo tuku mai me he pot ngāwe mo ui o ku hoko ai makamaile ko eni ke whakainonga iai ai whakalakalaka lahi i he tuku pā ai pule anga ke whakaivia ngāhi ngāwe ki ono tukangai ki nai mo ui nenei pepehe ki ono whakahoko ngāhi whaito'o whakahauwhi mo ui ki he kakaitonga ai o kuesia i he maha ki e kofuwa. O ku whakafofua ke whakaawa ai Senta Taiala Sisi i he wike whakaosi o whepueni o e ta o whoou, ai a koe fofua taimia e mawai e ngahi sevesi Taiala Sisi whakahauwhi mo ui i tongani. I he konga ki mua o e mahinani na e whakahoko ai e whakataha ai minista mo ui toke tā ana a kawola mo toke tā Tara Chang koe pule o e waa ki he kofua i he University Stanford pe he whoki ki he kaunga ngā ue maolunga i he University Stanford i California. Ko e whakataha koe nina e whakatuuia e he SPDC, pea tataki e he konsela seniali whakalanglangi a Tonga i San Francisco, o kawat kiai ai konsela seniali o Tonga, se Latu kia, pea moiongo me mi papuate o SPDC, ko Victorina Kioa mo Ram Ramanrav. Na e whakatuku ake ngāhia lelea ai tuku pā ke whingawe ake whakataha ki hono whakatuu o e 44 Senta Taiala Sisi i tongani, ke lawai e he kaumahaki o mao ai tokoni whakawhaito o ko ia i tongani pe, ka ikai te whi mao ke whanau ki muli. O ku whakatutu uai ke whakahoko atu koni me University Stanford i ha polokalama ako whakawhaito o ta taupe i he nā wau tonu mai ke whakahoko ai ako pea moi whakahoko mai pe i he whetutaki whau i he internet tipok inoa koe telemedicine ke siofia pe ngā whainga maalie ke toi langahake ai tau kei mo ino o kau ngā ue to koni ofa mo hoko atu ai pe ai to koni whateknikale ki he ngahi ngā ue koe ni.
O ku amanaki ke sea Tonga ni whatahalahi whatau kau Minista tak mamata e Pasifiki i he wike kahao. Koe whataha koe niuk tatangia i Tongani i he wike kahakato o e wika hao, ai o whahoko ia ke vai whanua wawao. I he whaik eke ngonga le te o Tonga me Minista e potonga e tak mamata mo ale whinau nane pehe, koe tau moe whataha koe ni, ke siofi e ngahi pōle me whaingatau whianghangai me sektoa tak mamata i he Pasifiki. O ku kau ki ai mo alea ai palani ngā ue whakalakalaka ki he kaha o.
O ku totonu ki hauka whakatahaya koe nia koe ke ne hanga o address ngai challenges puke ngai polparema ngai mea ku ne hanga o whawhaingata ia whakalakalaka koe o e tawha e wapa tourism. Ai ku osi ai tui asi heni ai ngai paanga wa ko fisi i wafi wafana o ia ua poindi ma piriona fisi paanga fisi ko huma behe fra e tati mamata. Ko Cook Island na we ki nima miliona nusila i wafe wafa. Ai aku ha mi hen ai paanga lahi o mai e tafaki ko e tagi mamata ko tourism ko no nga hanga he tourism mia fa u taha mai nga u ngahi activities o kunelava pro omi paanga ki fo no hange ko te hua te penga i fare kai wa ka paanga yo tau toi. Ko dar beki wafu whakaheka ko mata tofu ai ke na wa. Ko dar beka feidu una omna tofu atau na handicraft. O os mahino pe longo mo ui. Ka aku ia e proparema.
Ko tokanga, ko hui ko ngahi pōle mo ngahi ngā ue kune whawhi atungia i aki ai ngā une sektoa tak mamata ki hatu unga oktoi lele yange. Nai whamala ala whinau ki ngai whaingatang whiangangai me sektoa taki mamata.
Ko i siula i taha te mauteke ni ko proparema ko mo aviation me wapuna. Pe mo ngahi e ko no uhinga ko hala ia o tourist ki hau ki Tonga ni ko wapuna. Pe ka paurema e proparema e puna mai me fish ma tui fok ko ngahi moto e Pasifiki we are isolated. O tau tu ma wahi tau toru me Europe New Zealand Australia o ke alo le lue bebo alo pasi. Ko pau ke puna mai wapuna. Ai ko ne tu e taimini ko ngahi te fito i taumu ai e mawhakataha ke mausio na ia hafonga ke lava ke mauhanga o te kolo iai ai poloparema ko e ngahi airline o ngahi sipuna aki ko haa mea poloparema ke lava ke whahana solo ka ukaurea miai e mausio ki he aia ko i whakasi beko fe o se whakoi ki he kawenga whakataha ko ni Ase kawenga to serve with purpose. But asle vai ai ko tourism is not just for economics, for our economy. It is a cultural bridge. Ko hala whakakawa o e tau culture po e tau tonga mo i whakafonua. Ai ko ngai kawenga e whaikai lawe ko ni ko ne mau whakataha te mau sio ki ngai u hange u hotere ko ngai resort te mausio ke ngai activities ke he o ke mausio nge pe elava o fai ha fetokoni aki hange ko na tata ni nai ko Tahiti ko Island ko fisi fu ma longa abido na to ai o ton ke tawa ko me ki na to e ngai fonga ko ke lava ke to ke ke haki ki longa e tau tourism.
O ku mahino koe whataha koe nia kau Minista tak mamata e Pasifiki ki Tongani, o ku sea ai a Tongani, hilia ai sea a fisi i he tauko o si. Nā e kau e pale mia ka koe Minista paanga to ke tā ai sake ke whakataha me kau whafofonga kehe me ngai whanoi Pasifiki, i he whakataha lahi ai Pasifiki i he whakataha whakatau, ai klupu panke a mamani, mo e kau taha paanga whawha apole anga IMF i Amerika i he wikeni. Ne nau tau kawe i ai ke whima au ke hiki tō pe ta tongi whapaanga ke ngai whanoi Pasifiki, ke ngahi ngāui ke whawhipaki i o e whililiwaki o e ea popua aho mo e whakaiki ki.
Na e kau whakataha i ai palemia to ki tā aisa ke eke mo i kau whakawhawhonga me Fisi, Palau, Papua New Guinea mo Otumotu Solomone i he teke ai ka venga ke whakapaanga o ngahi ngāwe ke wheliliwaki o ea mo ngahi pole ke he kehe o whihangangai mo Pasifiki hangi ke whenga ke tu uloa ai tu unga whakapaanga lelei mo e totongi o e whiawe aki paanga. Nei sea I he whakatahani ai tale ki tapule o IMF, Kristalina Georgieva, o whakatewhito e whakataha I he ngahi pole o whehangahangai me Pasifiki I he maupaanga ki ngā ue whelawe I moe wheniriwaki o ea, mo ngahi wesia ke tu unga whakaekonomika. O whawhofua koe peseti pe e taha o ngahi tokoni whapaanga I mamani ki he ngahi ngā ue whelawe I me wheniriwaki o ea o ku whaaki pe I nasi ai ngahi whanua Pasifiki, a ia koe tahaini a ngahi ka veinga nei tokanga ki ai palemia o ne pehe o ku whiamau ke toi whainga maali e angi ke mau e he ngahi whanua Pasifiki ai paanga tokoni ki he wheniriwaki o ea, koe hi koe tuulawe ngofua au pito ai Pasifiki ki he ngahi whakatamaki whakanatula tupu me he wheniriwaki o ea. Nei whakamamawhai ai e eke ai mau inga o lava ke whakawhaingofua ai mau e he Pasifiki ai paanga, ke whakaivia aki ai ngā aue ai ngā whanua Pasifiki, ke matu aki aki ai wheniriwaki o ea o ne pehe ko whakotu whoki ai sino I paanga makehe ai Pasifiki, ke tokoni ki he kawengani ai o kamanaki fo ke whakotu ai ofisi ke tokangai kina ai sino I paanga makehe koe ni I tongani. Nā e oha ke whoki e he palemia, mo I tokanga ki he whotutu ukoia ki he hiriwhaki ai totongi tuku hao makehe ai puleanga Amerika I he talafi paanga mei Amerika ai o kungaringari ke kamata I he tau fo'ou o ne pehe e hoko ni ke te wesia whakapaanga ai kakai e whanua tau te whito koe mahino ku kaweni I he taha ngahi mauanga paanga o ku whakawhalala ki ai kakai toko lahi I he whanua kai pehe whoki ki e Pasifiki whakaloku fua. Nei tānia I he tare ki tapule o IMF ai ngahi whakotu me ka venga kutoa nei tukanga ki ai whakataha, ke whakahoko hawakai ki ai IMF moha ngā ue ke whakahoko whikau aki me ngahi palapalema koe ni, ke toile leiangi ai e toko nia o ngahi whanua Pasifiki.
Ko hika mahu inga ke mau whainga maali e te taupe ai taha kotoa I he society. O ngā una e potunga I Meidek I he whingau ake me kautaha o kunau tokanga I kina whamamani lahi ai whetu utaki whateknolosia pe kau I Local International Telecommunication Union. Hatahalanga whawhanua ke whaivia ni ihi o tūlawe ango fuange I he society ki ngai whainga maali e I he teknolosia.
Nā e whakahoko ai he polokalama makehe I he pongpong ane a whi, ke whakailonga I he kamata ai tālanga aho e tolu I he wikeni, ki ono siofi moto e whakalele I he ngahi tūtu uni, pe lao ki he teknolosia, ke whapapau I he mau whainga maali e te tau pe, a ki nau toluk whainga taa whakai sino, ki ngahi teknolosia kehe o ta tau pe I he ngahi ngawe anga. A ko, mo e tapa kehe pe o society. Lolo tonga e polokalama, ni whakahaa I lu isa mālolo ka koe pule lahi le o ia ai potungau e Meidek. O ku kawa tongani he ngai whanua o ku nau poupoua ai konversio ai kautaha ai pule anga whakatahataha pe UN ki ono tokangai kina e ngahi totonu a ki nau tolok whengata ia whakai sino. I he mahino koe peset e tahanima e toko lahi ani ihi o whengata ia whakai sino I he ngai whanua toko lahi. Nāne pehe, ko hinga ia hono whakahoko e tālanga ko e ni, ke whakapapau I whainga maali e te tau ani ihi ko e ni I he teknolosia. Ko ia o ku whaia I hono toi wakaii, tala noa I me whakalelei I ngahi tūtu uni mo e lau ki he teknolosia, ke whakapapau I he mau whainga maali e te tau pe, a ki nau tolok whainga taa whakai sino ki he teknolosia. Nai whakahāheni he tale kita o e waa toka ngai kina, ka kai whengata ia whakai sino, I he potu ngau e ngahi ngau e whakaloto whanua, lu isa manu e whetoa, ai toko lahi whakaluku fua ki nau tolok whengata ia whakai sino I tongani.
Ko e tuunga ko iai hange ko e mea ko whahoko he whawhi whalanglang o e ahoni, ko e pesete tahanima o e ngai whanua ko toa pe I mamani ko kakai au tūlawe angofua I society. Ko ki tau tolko ni I tongani, ko nea umai koe ke ahoni ko e tau kakai koe o ku tūlawe angofua pe ko e population, disability population in a country, o ku iai ai toko waafe o no ngea walwono. Talu e kamata e polokalama koe ni me waafe tahanima, pe ko nea umai koe ke ahoni na kau mai ai kakai e toko ni maafe whangeau tawha. Me wafe tahani maua o mai ke ahoni, pe to o me iai akinau toko si pekia, pa koe toenga koe oi ahoni o ku whakahoko whatongi e kai pule anga, I hono tokanga kinau tohenga I polo kalama kehekehe, pe pehepe whoki ki he wahe, pe ko ki paanga tokoni ka teknau tol I he mahina ko toa he tau o whiunga ki nau tol pa mo toko wafe ono ngia walu ono.
Ko ia, nā ni whakamalo ia e ngahi whinga aki ko toa pē ni whakahoko ki lawa I o whuaki e whainga maali e ko e ni, ki ni ihi o whainga taa ia whakahisino I Tonga ni. Ko hi o nau malawa ai ki nau ngoi ko I konga I he society. O whakahoko e tara noa ko e ni me kau matao tau pē I he malae o teknolosia mi toa pule anga o whakafou I he interneti. O kau whakataha ai me potungau I kehe o hangei koe potungau e ako me ngahi kupwhila la vei ki tala noa e ngahi whaunga ki langa hatonga o inasta tau pē ai toko taha kotoa. Ma ai o ngonga le te om televisione Tonga, kauritea tau kapo.
Pea aku kei hoko atu pea whakahoko e ngahi polo kalama ke whailonga I ake ai mahina o lanu pinki, pea koe mahina o kansa huhu hange koe Tongatapu. Nei whakahoko ai anea whe polo kalama mau mea toko ni makehe ai society kansa huhu a Tonga, pea kini ihi kona whakakea ke lelei me he kansa. Koe polo kalamani nei me ai Princess Kalaunis nei takala mo princessi pilo level tuwita. Li te atau kapo mai whakaikiki.
Koe polo kalama koe ni, nei whakahoko ia ke whakahounga I ngahi hoa ngā ue, pia whakahai e tau mua ne whakahoko ki ai e ngai whenga paanga, ke tokoni ki e misi ni sivi, pe koe mammogram ke tokoni ke toi whakawhainga maali e ange, ai whakahoko o sivi kansa huhu I he whale maha ki vaiola. Ko ngai whenga paanga, nei whakahoko, ko whakatau mua ia ke whakapaanga a ke misi ni sivi kansa huhu, mammogram for all. Ke whakawhainga fua e whakahoko o CV, pia ke toi lahi ange ai e taimi e malawa ke whakaata ki he kakai ke nau lava o whakahoko o CV ki he kansa huhu. Ko tokanga a society, ke oa e ongo ili e kina ki nau tolu o nau mau ai mahaki, iha nau whakaamu ke lava atu ki vaiola ke whakahoko ai CV. Pia nā nau whakamalo I ai e ngahi wāwhenga aki kotoa pē ai society, o nau poupou I mo whakahoko e ngahi polo kalama ki ono tokanga I kina o mahaki kansa huhu. Nā e mea e Pataloni Society, Princess Pule, salo te mawhile o pilo levu tuita. Mo Princess Kalauni, sinai takala tuku aho, koe whakaafe whakalangilangi o polo kalama. Ma ai o ngonga le te om televisione Tonga, kauritea tau kapo.
Uni o ngongo whaloto whanua pia ki Hawani, koe sipoti eni o kahili eni mo pia olie.
Malo mai tau ki whilaonga ki koe wakai eni ki mala e oi sipoti. O ku whanonga whakataha pē teu ki he whiau he pāsiki mo no whawhi iloa ki te mire ki whawhanua ki ngai whamiri, maheni, ngai community. Ko ngai hano whawa e whanau ni teu ke pakihi pia moe toa Samoa pe ki he Kiwis. Ia hone ku toi whemoe ki na ngai te mi ngai polokalama ko whaototu ki he whanau ni. Kamata pepe me hono taitani tana whikau lahe a Australia ki Tonga ni ai te mi ki mu ai e nau whamaho sino I Jim Sunia mawhileo. Wharatau ki a ngongo tuku mai mi he tēsi e kau tahanga pururi ki a Tonga. E toi ahi pia e whanau ki he ngai community. Whahauka ia ngā hiporokalama ke ke, tal whito ke nau ngai whamiri he ahoni, pea moe ka kātoi pe, e ngai hiporokalama ku mo ua ke e taimi o e whanau. O tūla hauka I pe teu ki he taumawha hoa taha pongpong e timi ki palasi, o whakatau wholofola ke nea whio, ki mu ai floati mo e whaari aari whaaosi ko e timi, pea nau wholau atu he tōna ki, teu ke fōfua wa I ngā mutoa Samoa I Sambate kaha u, koe aho wau no. Ka ke ulere I matangi e whamausino ai timi ki he whiau he pasuki, ai aku tawhi mala ai toa Samoa mo I kiwi he wikeni, pe whalawa tule vai kautoa ne mate mātonga ki Suncorp Stadium o mirimisino ai mo toa Samoa, ki mua ai whipaki mo I Kiwis, I ahaua ko ia mahina katu ki a Kalani.
Ko pia o lia ia mai whamumita me he mala e o sipoti, te tawa kai lewa hen ke tu unga o ea, toko mai mesenta whamatala ea tongai whamotu, mai potungai meidek.
Malo lau maari aho eki pa murirea tongo toa tai rea piki mo tolu ki tau whamatala ea ko eki he aho ni. I he tau whai whanongat ko ia pe mi he pōni ki a pongi, ki hoko at pe au whia ki Tongatapu pe mo eua, malawa ki ai pa mo ha uha ki vai whanua ko ha apai Tongatapu pe mo eua. Ko haviri e ki mālohi po au ki hako, ngahi aha ko ia ka hoko mai. Makai koe ke he imisi satellite o ahoni, makai mai pe koe ngahi konga ao koe koe alo tāmaki e toka ki whakahihifo koe o Tonga. Pea toki mo vete mai mea e ngahi ao maalunga koe o lahi ao fia e Tongatapu pea mo eua i he ahoni. Ki he apai wa wau pa pehefoki ki he ongo niwa, lahi alo maari e pe ki he ahoni. Ki mo ke tau kamata, tau wakai ke tau ngahi whakatokanga, ai o kei tukot pe whatokanga hako ki he kotoa pe e ngahi vai whanua koe o Tonga. Pe pefo ke ngahi potahi kei tukot pe whatokanga hako mo e whari koe ke ngahi wakaiki, potahi koe o ongo niwa wa wau, kaut koe pa mo haapai Tongatapu pea mo eua. Tau kamata ke aho nima koe ka hoko mai pa mi he Pasifiki koe alo maari e whakatonga ne ome haviri. Ke angi pa mi he tonga haake he kotoa pe o Tonga, ko alo tāmaki e kune toka ke he whakahihifo. Mo vete me mea e ngahi ao maalunga o lahi ao fia e o Tonga, whaasinga koe uike. Ka koe whakatoke lau, alo tāmaki e ngā ungu whoke hongo niwa, ne ome ha uha. Pea pehe whoki ki hang mana, whaasinga koe uike, pa mui kamatanga koe o uike kaha ungu. Whamtala e koe he pōni hau ki pongpong koe a pongi i wahe whanua koe a Tongatapu pa mo e ua. Malau ke hau hatu umotoa i he pōni. E whaka maari ke mana, lolo lahi hangahi taimi. Kau kai pa mo wahe whanua koe o haapai. Ka ki wawau pa pehefu ke ongo niwa, alo maari e petu ke hanga au fia. Au e malohi koe haviri ke mairi tahe tahanima ki he wanoa. Pa koe moko tahe pōni, au ke tikriso sa se wanoa ki he ua whaa. Whamtala e koe ki a pongi, kei ua tu umotoa pe ki he whakatonga ki Tongatapu pa mo e ua kaut kai pa mo haapai. Ka ki wawau lahi alo maari e pe lahi au fia whoki ke whakatoke lau ki he ongo niwa. Hau ai maa whana taha koe ea ke tikriso sase ua ono ki he ua walo. Taimi koe tahi mahatoka tahi to he ngofulu koe ke ngofulu he poni. Pe tau maari e tahi i osmite nima koe pa me wha ahingi. Koe la a pa mue mahina hopo e la a i osmite walo pa me he ono. Pea hopo e mahina osmite ua nima pa me tolu ahingi. Whaosia pe whamtalai aho nima ka hoko mai ki Nuku'alofa, toko nā ki pa moe sapate, malau ke a ngahi uhatu umoto, ka koe kamatanga koe uke kahau, lahi alo maari e pe. Au e fua mawhana ke maalunga koe tikriso sa se ua nima ki he ua fitu. Pea koe taungatanga pe ki whiawhini, malo mo mea mai, ka mo mea.
Koe whamatala e ai ki hauani ki mo patau mawai, tatu wakai peheni ki ngahi ulu i o ngongo. Me a tahine Princess Kalauni o whailonga e kamata wha ofisiali ai whakataha kautaki Polynesia i he tākanga i Pasifiki i Nuku'alofa. Tau ka vei e he kautake Pasifiki ke te lahiange ai tokoni ke Pasifiki ki nu whapaanga o i ngahi ngā aue ke whawhipaki e whililiwaki o e ea. Pea tatake tongani ai whakataha whakatau ai kau Minister Tak Mamata o i Pasifiki au amanaki e ke whakahoko ia ke waiwhanua wa vau. Pe me kakato e pe mo uni o ngongo i lea whatonga me le teo kai o maafo ke television e tonga ki he hawani mo i ai whaka amina ia o tōna atu ke loto whale ai tonga hono kotoa. Whamalo te tau ke whi au mai, ko sinolita tu i vai, ka mo mea.
Good evening and welcome to your English news package with radio and television Tonga news for tonight. Making headlines, Polynesian leaders group meet on the margins of the SBC conference in Nuku'alofa. Ministry of Health forms historic partnership with Stanford University to establish the country's first dialysis centre set to open early next year. And Vava'o is set to host a major meeting of Pacific tourism ministers next week. We'll have these and more stories coming up later on in this bulletin, as well as the latest in sports and the weather update to wrap up this hour's news package. Now for the news in detail, I am Popua Aho. Her Royal Highness Crown Princess Sinai Takala launched the official website for Polynesian Leaders Group at a special meeting of the group on the margins of the SPC conference in Nuku'alofa this morning. The website will serve as a platform for the group's ongoing initiatives.
Latu from the Prime Minister's office emphasised that this is a significant event for Tonga, as it is a key moment in showcasing the nation's plans to highlight important development pathways for the Polynesian people. The new website offers resources to help Polynesian people connect with various national projects, including services, education and other key community initiatives.
At the outset, it is with deepest respect that we acknowledge the presence of Her Royal Highness, the Crown Princess Takala, who has graciously accepted the invitation to honor the Polynesian Leaders Group meeting today and to launch its first ever online platform on behalf of the Kingdom of Tonga. As an initiative of the Prime Minister of Tonga, the Honourable Dr. Aisake Valueke, it is one of the most remarkable journey of the Polynesian people, culture, and tradition to work together for the resilience and the future of our identity and heritage. This morning, this online platform is the beginning of the work as a startup to enable our member countries to coordinate and collaborate on the priorities of the PLG. It is also an opportunity, after so many years, 14 years, for the PLG to bring our work to our people, our traditions, and to our communities, of whom we have served since its inception in Samoa in 2011. Tonga will undertake this first responsibility this morning as chair to deliver on the trust and the faith that the Polynesian leaders have bestowed upon us to continue the journey of the PLG. Following this morning's launch, our members and observer countries will work together to consider various aspects of the Charter and the terms of reference of our PLG families. It is an exciting time for the Kingdom of Tonga, and in the gracious presence of Her Royal Highness, the Crown Princess Takala of Tonga, the esteemed members, countries of American Samoa, Cook Islands, Maui Nui, French Polynesia, Niue, Samoa, Tokelau, Tonga, Tuvalu, and Wellington and Fortuna, we can only do this together and as a Polynesian family. It will be remiss not to acknowledge our most gracious thanks to the government of French Polynesia for supporting the BLT chair as interim secretary, and to the government of Samoa, which are very pleased to have His Excellency here, the High Commissioner of Samoa to Fiji, Veturi, welcome, who will be hosting the PLG Secretariat in Apia, Samoa. With these small words, with this work we launched here today, we hope it will only be another positive step to getting our family, our connections in the Polynesian Triangle closer and resilience in our solidarity.
Niue's Government Secretary Peleni Talangi praised Tonga for its leadership in organising this special meeting and stressed the importance of cooperation in advancing shared goals in the Pacific region. Talangi further highlighted that this meeting provides an important opportunity to discuss the development of joint efforts and plans between the Polynesian countries.
This opening ceremony, starting with the Taualunga performed, has beautifully captured the spirit of Polynesian unity, the strength of our shared heritage. It conveys respect, it conveys grace and being gracious. It's a reminder that while our islands might be small in size, our collective voice and our vision are mighty. We thank our hosts not just for the hospitality, but for creating a space where we can come together to discuss the challenges and the opportunities that shape our region, from climate resilience and sustainable development to cultural preservation and digital transformations. And with regional cooperation, our agenda reflects the priorities of our Pacific people, of our Polynesian people, and the values that we hold dear. And speaking of digital transformation, I'm very impressed with the website. I think it looks really, really good. And we look forward to going through and looking at it, but it really shows the example of the digital transformation and the digital space that we all live in now, and that we capture the youth right up to our elderly.
The 6 countries participating in this meeting are New Zealand, Samoa, Tuvalu, Tokelau, the Cook Islands and Tonga. Vaifonoto Paula for Radio and Television Tonga News.
The Ministry of Health has announced a landmark partnership with Stanford University's Division of Nephrology to support the establishment of Tonga's first ever dialysis centre, an initiative led by the C.R.C. Brown Dialysis Centre based in Salt Lake City, Utah. This milestone marks a major advancement in the government's commitment to strengthening healthcare delivery and providing life-saving treatment for Tongans affected by kidney disease. The dialysis centre is expected to open in the last week of February 2026. marking the first time that life-saving dialysis services will be available within Tonga. Earlier this month, the Health Minister Dr. Ana Akawola met with Dr. Tara Cheng, Chief of the Division of Nephrology, and senior colleagues at Stanford University in California. The meeting, initiated by SBDC and facilitated by the Honorary Consulate General, included Tonga's Consul General Latu and SBDC board members Victorina Kioa and Ram Ramanrao. The discussions concluded with a shared commitment to collaborate on the establishment of Tonga's first dialysis centre, enabling patients to receive critical care in Tonga rather than travelling abroad. Stanford University will provide clinical training both in person and via telemedicine, shadowing opportunities along with mentoring, volunteer rotations, and ongoing technical support. Dr. Akawola stated the establishment of a dialysis centre in Tonga will save lives, reunite families, and restore dignity to our people. For more than 3 decades, the ministry has led extensive health promotion and prevention programs to combat non-communicable diseases. However, as kidney disease rates rise, the government recognizes that prevention and treatment must go hand in hand to provide a full continuum of care. This partnership symbolizes a new era of international cooperation, uniting world-class expertise, national leadership, and community commitment to improve the health and resilience of the Tongan people. Tonga is expected to host a major annual meeting of the Tourism Pacific Ministers next week. This meeting will be led by Tonga in the upcoming week, set to take place in the scenic setting of Vava'o.
Speaking to radio and television Tonga News, the Tourism Minister Moimoi now says the goal of this meeting is to address the tourism sector's challenges and difficulties faced in the Pacific. It is also aimed at discussing a collaborative plan for future efforts in the region. Finau highlighted the difficulties that the tourism sector continues to face, where he says that the tourism sector is grappling with significant challenges, including ongoing aviation issues, limited flight availability, and a severe shortage of accommodation, which are hindering the industry's growth and recovery. Finau also confirmed that this meeting will be chaired by Tonga, follows after the meeting in Fiji last year. Vaifanatu Paula for Radio and Television Tonga News.
Prime Minister Dr. Aisake Eke, along with other Pacific Island representatives, have called for greater access to climate adaptation funding at the Pacific Islands High-Level Roundtable during the World Bank IMF annual meetings. Prime Minister Eke joined leaders from Fiji, Palau, Papua New Guinea and the Solomon Islands to address urgent regional challenges, including fiscal sustainability, climate adaptation and remittance costs. The roundtable, chaired by IMF Managing Director Kristalina Georgieva, focused on the Pacific's ongoing struggles with limited climate finance and high remittance costs, issues that threaten the region's economic stability and resilience. The Pacific Island countries receive only around 1% of global climate adaptation, a disparity that Eke highlighted in his remarks. He stressed the need for more accessible, predictable finance to address the region's urgent climate needs and called for stronger mechanisms to direct funds more effectively to Pacific nations. Eke stated that a significant shift needs to be made in climate finance allocation to tailor to the realities that the Pacific Islands face, emphasizing the importance of initiatives like PECRIC and the Pacific Resilience Fund, or PRF, which will be hosted in Tonga. Eke also raised concerns over the high cost of remittances, averaging 7.3% for sending $200, the second highest in the world, and the potential impact of a 1% US levy on remittance payments starting in January 2026. He warned that these added costs could put further strain on remittance-dependent economies in the region. In response, Georgieva acknowledged the challenges faced by Pacific nations, promising the IMF's continued support and cooperation with the World Bank and other partners to develop new financial tools that better meet the region's needs. The roundtable underscored the urgent need for international collaboration to ensure the Pacific's future resilience in the face of climate change and global economic shifts. The Ministry of MEDEC, in partnership with the International Telecommunication Union, ITU, has launched a 3-day national consultation focused on strengthening Tonga's digital accessibility policy. The initiative aims to ensure that digital technologies are accessible to all citizens, with a particular emphasis on individuals living with disabilities.
The consultation opened on Thursday, bringing together government representatives, digital experts and key stakeholders to evaluate and enhance existing policies, procedures and legislation related to information and communication technology, or ICT. The goal is to foster inclusive digital development that reaches every community, including marginalized and minority groups. Acting CEO of MEDEC, Luisa Malolo, emphasized the importance of integrating inclusive practices into national ICT strategies. She noted that the consultation will address critical areas for policy improvement to make digital services more accessible and equitable across Tonga.
Approximately 15% of the population throughout the world, and especially in the Pacific, Asia and the Pacific, lives with disabilities. Digital accessibility is essential, especially for people with disability, to support their health, safety and well-being. These consultations support the Tonga Smart Island vision by integrating inclusive digital policies. So the workshop will map the existing laws or legislations, policies, plans and programs related to ICT accessibility in Tonga. The workshop also aims to identify gaps across key sectors, including education, health, employment, media, elections and public services. This workshop will also address voices of people with disabilities, and their respective organizations are central to this process. Private sector, your feedback and your insights will be crucial to inform strategy for inclusive workplaces and accessible technologies. At this workshop, we will also benchmark Tonga's efforts against regional practices and International Telecommunication Union Toolkit, the first for the Pacific.
Also speaking at the event, Deputy CEO of Social Protection and Disability at the Ministry of Internal Affairs, Luisa Manufetoa, shared that over 2,600 people with disabilities are currently registered in Tonga, 60% of whom are women. She acknowledged the collaborative efforts behind the consultation and highlighted its potential to significantly improve digital access and quality of life for persons with disabilities. This consultation marks one of several ongoing initiatives reflecting Tonga's commitment to building a more inclusive and equitable society through digital transformation. Reporting for Radio and Television Tongan News, I'm Litea Taukapo.
And the Tonga Breast Cancer Society honoured survivors and supporters at their Pinktober luncheon held yesterday at Seabreeze in Anana. The program recognised survivors and those who have helped fund and support the Society's ongoing efforts to fight breast cancer across the kingdom.
The Breast Cancer Society highlighted that their fundraising campaigns this year are aimed at purchasing a second mammogram machine for Viola Hospital. This would make breast screening more accessible and allow more women to be tested on time, as the current machine is already in high demand. Patron of the Society, Princess Pilolevu Tuita and Princess Sinaita Nuku'alofa, attended the event as the guest of honor, joining in appreciation of the many individuals and organizations who continue to support the Society's mission. The Breast Cancer Society continues to urge the public to make use of the free breast cancer screenings available at Viola Hospital during Pinktober, with the reminder that early detection remains the best chance of saving lives. Reporting for Radio and Television Tonga News, I'm Litea Taukapo.
That was the latest from the local scene. Up next, we'll join Pia Olia for the latest in sports.
Welcome back in sport. Our National Rugby League team is enjoying their time here in the Kingdom as they prepare for the upcoming Pacific Championships Cup and take part in community activities. Before heading to the Pacific Challenge against Samoa and New Zealand, the boys in red visited schools yesterday and villages today to strengthen family and community ties. Their busy schedule started this morning with a breakfast hosted by the Australian High Commissioner, followed by a training session at the Sunia Mafileo Gym in Kolomotoa. The Tonga Rugby League office confirmed to Radio Tonga Sports News that the team will continue their village visit today before meeting with the government officials. Meanwhile, the team is expected to have an audience with His Majesty the King tomorrow, followed by a street parade from Te Whaiva along Taufa'ahau Road to Apifo'o College Rugby Field. After the local tournament finals on Saturday, the team will depart Nuku'alofa for the first match against Toa Samoa Sunday next week. The tournament will officially kick off on the 19th, with Tonga facing Samoa on the 26th and then New Zealand on the 2nd of next month.
That was the latest sports news with Pia Olia. Now taking a look at the latest weather update from the Foremoto Weather Forecasting Centre with the Tonga Met Service team.
Good evening. This is our evening forecast from Tonga Met. Our main headline for tonight: cloudy conditions will continue to experience over the areas of Tongatapu and Ewa, with possible showers to Ha'apai, Tongatapu and also Ewa. Fresh to strong wind for all of Tonga for the next upcoming days. From today's satellite imagery, trough lies to the west of the group, bringing into Tongatapu and Ewa mid to high level cloud, and that is the main reason why we were mostly cloudy for today. Ha'apai, Vava'u and also the Niuas, less cloud were observed along these areas, but mainly fine weather. Firstly, our current warning: we still have warnings for our land areas. Strong wind warning still remains in force for all of Tonga land areas, and also strong wind warning and small craft advisory still remain in force for the Niuas, Vava'u, Ha'apai, Tongatapu and Ewa land areas. Starting from the region for the next 5 days, high pressure to the south, directing cool southeasterly winds. However, a low pressure that will develop to the west, bringing into our areas mostly cloudy toward the end of this week. To the north, we're expecting some occasional rain, possibly heavy at times toward the end of this week and for the start of next week. Forecast for tonight up until tomorrow morning, we are expecting occasional showers to Tongatapu and Ewa, possibly heavy at times, including Ha'apai, but for Vava'u mainly fine, and also the Niuas apart from cloudy periods. Minimum temperature for tonight 20 to 23 degrees Celsius and maximum wind speed 10 to 15 knots. Forecast for tomorrow: scattered showers for Tongatapu and Ewa, including Ha'apai, but mainly fine for Vava'u. To the Niuas, mostly cloudy to the north. Maximum temperature 26 to 28 degrees Celsius. Our tide prediction: low tide at 10 minutes to 10 p.m. tonight, and high tide will be at 5 minutes 4 a.m. Sun and moon sunrise will be at 8 minutes past 6 a.m. and moonrise will be at 25 minutes past 3 a.m. Wrapping up with the 5 days outlook, toward the end of this week, Saturday and Sunday, we're expecting isolated showers for Nuku'alofa, but for the start of next week, we're expecting mainly fine weather. Maximum temperature reaching 25 to 27 degrees Celsius. That will be all for tonight. We'll catch you next time. Good night.
Thank you to the Tonga Met Service team for that latest weather update, wrapping up this hour's news package. But before we part, here's a final look at tonight's top stories. Polynesian leaders group meet on the margins of the SPC conference in Nuku'alofa. Ministry of Health forms historic partnership with Stanford University to establish the country's first dialysis centre, set to open early next year. And Vava'o is set to host a major meeting of Pacific tourism ministers next week. That was the latest news with radio and television Tonga News for tonight. Thank you for joining us. Have a good evening.